Morehead State University says it will implement unpaid furloughs for all employees during spring break.
Lawmakers in Frankfort tackle the illegal dumping of radioactive waste in Estill County.
Schools in Clay County will be closed the rest of the week after a sudden spike in sickness.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Last month, presidents from several state universities pleaded to lawmakers that budget cuts proposed by Governor Bevin would have severe consequences.
And now today, Morehead State University is the first to follow through, announcing unpaid furloughs for its employees, including all faculty and staff during spring break. Garrett Weimer has more in our top story at 5:30.
Morehead State President Dr. Wayne Andrews says the furlough is not something he wanted to have to do, but it's a better option than layoffs or pay cuts given their budget situation right now. The president says they've been able to make up for a $2.6 million shortfall from tuition revenue because of a drop in enrollment, but addressing a nearly $2 million cut in their money from the state this year is much tougher. He says that led to the need for a 5-day furlough for faculty and staff. It's scheduled for March 21st through March 25th while MSU students are on spring break. Dr. Andrews says the furlough will help them recover $1.4 million of the costs they need to make up.
I've been here 12 years as president. I'm really concerned about our people. This is going to be difficult for our people, and I want them to know they're the most important resource we have. And I just hope that they'll hang in there with us together. We'll work through this. I mean, there's a bright future for higher education because we have an important mission. We just need to stay together and do it.
Police will remain on campus over spring break, as will some maintenance workers and other employees. Dr. Andrews says they'll have to take their 5-day furlough at another time. At Morehead State University, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And the university plans to hold public forums about the budget in April with the campus community. Andrews says that under Governor Bevin's proposed budget, they'd also have to cut nearly $4 million from next year's budget.
And Morehead State isn't the only university facing the budget axe. The governor told all universities to immediately cut 4.5% from their budgets. This afternoon, the University of Kentucky told us that furloughs are not part of their cost-cutting plan. We're still waiting to learn whether furloughs are on the table at Eastern Kentucky University. Kentucky State University's president has already warned the cuts could force KSU to close.
Heavy rain already making its way into our region, and we could face some high water issues overnight.
We are joined now by WKYT's chief meteorologist, Chris Bailey, with an early check of that forecast. Chris?
Yeah, a lot of heavy rain slowly working across parts of west central Kentucky, where we've picked up better than a couple of inches of rain. Western Kentucky with the majority of the flooding problems so far. In some areas there, better than 4 and 5 inches since yesterday. Rain is now getting into the Lexington metro, and we're getting in on some thunder and lightning. Nothing severe with this, but you notice the lightning here right on east of Interstate 65. Folks around Campbellsville, Columbia, up toward Liberty and Lebanon will get in on some of that. Thunder and lightning across the Bardstown area into Nelson County. Those showers and storms extend into the Frankfort area. And boy, that band of heavy rain has really been setting up shop in a narrow corridor. That's the area we'll have to watch for some local stream and street flooding over the next hour or two. Lexington, rain on the west side of town. I know east side of town getting tweets about people who want to be out and about, Little League practice, T-ball practice. Yeah, the rain's going to get you here within an hour or so. To our south, Wildcat fans down in Nashville, Tennessee right now. Just getting heavy rain, although I'm seeing a lot of folks on Twitter telling me they're saying severe weather in Nashville inside the arena and asking you to stay inside. Not that you're hearing me now, but for the Wildcat fans that are down there, there are no severe thunderstorm warnings for the Nashville area. That is mainly just heavy rain. We're tracking heavy rain across central and eastern Kentucky when I come back in a few.
Lawmakers in Frankfort are taking action against illegal dumping of radioactive waste in Kentucky landfills. Representative Cluster Howard of Estill County is sponsoring a bill, and this comes after the EPA found 4 violations of illegal dumping at the Blue Ridge landfill in Irvin. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is in Frankfort with reaction from today's hearing.
State Representative Cluster Howard testifying in front of a House committee on Thursday, explaining how it has been a very trying time for some in his district.
They have a lot of fear They have a lot of concerns.
Which is why just days after the state confirmed radioactive waste from out of state was dumped in an Estill County landfill, House Bill 563 was introduced.
This had to be done to ensure them that not only me, but the Natural Resources Committee, the state, and the state agencies were concerned about them. I think in rural counties sometimes they feel like other parts of the state get more concern.
A bill aiming to update regulations, making modifications to ensure something like this will never happen again in Kentucky.
Right now it appears that we are the convenient place to dump those wastes because all of the other 3 states involved have more rigorous protocols for how they're managed.
Some lawmakers voicing concerns over adding regulations for the oil and gas industry.
Looking at it as a very metered way of assuring that you don't overregulate and you don't underregulate.
The bill did receive overwhelming support in the committee today, deciding to pass it on to the full House, sending a message that Representative Howard says is not only important for the folks in Estill County, but the entire state.
Variety of individuals on the committee, you know, some are perceived as being pro-environmental, some are perceived as being pro-business. What I saw today was people that were pro-Kentucky, you know, and the citizens who live here.
In Frankfort, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Leaders also noted at the hearing that it was discovered in recent days that radioactive waste was also dumped in a landfill in Greenup County.
Kentucky State Police are investigating the assault of a Madison County highway worker. It happened yesterday afternoon. The victim says he was hit while installing a speed limit sign on Meadowbrook Road when a person riding in a dark blue pickup truck hit him in the legs with a long object held out the window. Police say several trail cameras were also stolen recently in that same area.
A woman was arrested for drug possession after police found her lying beside the road. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Whitley County. It happened Sunday around the area of Aviation Boulevard. Police say that 33-year-old Radina Noblet of Michigan was unsteady on her feet and showed signs of intoxication. Police say she told them she was resting and thought she was in Tennessee. When asked if she had any drugs, police say she admitted to having meth in the car. Noblet was arrested and charged with possession, public intoxication, and trespassing. In Lawrence County, police have arrested 3 people for selling drugs in exchange for food stamps. Louisa police raided a home and found several Suboxone packages, along with a small amount of pills, marijuana, needles, cash, and firearms. They arrested 51-year-old Clarence Earl, 33-year-old James Mullet, and 37-year-old Chris Mullet for several charges, including trafficking and fraudulent use of benefits card. All 3 were taken to the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center.
Schools in a southeastern Kentucky county are closed the rest of the week. Doctors in Clay County say there's been a recent spike in the flu. WKYT's Phil Pendleton talked to doctors about the late season splurge in sickness.
School parking lots here in Clay County are empty in hopes that a 3-day break and the weekend will give kids plenty of time to get well. A lot of cleaning and disinfecting is taking place in the classrooms at Manchester Elementary, now empty of students after the superintendent became concerned with hundreds of absences. Doctors say all of the kids are complaining of the same thing.
Typical patient comes in complaining of fever, recent onset, cough, body aches.
160 kids were absent from each of the elementary schools earlier this week. Doctors say the flu can be very contagious, and they encourage good hygiene at school and at home.
Hand washing is the most important thing that they can do. They need to not share cups. They need to not eat after each other. Co-sleeping would not be a good idea while the child is sick. Things like that.
Dr. Rice says with several strands of illness going around, it's a good idea to see a doctor and then to drink plenty of fluids and get some rest.
Typically 3 to 5 days, and occasionally it may take a week.
To put this into perspective, on a normal day, the number of absences across the district would be just over 220. But on Tuesday, they had 684. In Clay County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
In addition to classroom instruction, Clay County decided to cancel all extracurricular activities for the rest of the week as well.
This time of year, our WKYT meteorologists are keeping a close eye out for severe weather. A couple of weeks ago, we showed you a Lexington school during a report that had children in a gymnasium during a storm drill. This gym was in the basement in the interior of that school and had a reinforced roof. But this prompted a good question, or should I say a comment, from Nancy. Nancy says when it comes to schools and storm drills, quote, we only use our inside halls with no windows showing for a safe place for our school. Please clear this up. Don't leave the impression that all gyms are safe. Nancy, you bring up a good point. It's timely. It is recommended that schools use an inner hallway and away from any windows. Avoid places like wide-span roofs like auditoriums, gyms, cafeterias, large hallways, or even shopping malls. Wide-span roofs are frequently damaged or destroyed in tornado winds, providing less protection and more risk of injury than roofs over smaller areas. Nancy, thanks for that reminder. To submit a good question or a comment, send an email to goodquestion@WKYT.com.
Still ahead on WKYT, gas prices are back on the rise. We'll tell you why experts say you can expect them to keep climbing.
I'm Bill Bryant. 2 football coaches throw in for a presidential candidate who is trying to stop the momentum of Donald Trump. And you'll soon be able to do voter registration from home. The bottom line is ahead.
For all your hearth and grill needs, shop barnhillchimney.com.
It's the Lazy Boy Furniture Gallery's factory authorized clearance. Get unbelievable deals on floor samples, closeouts, one-of-a-kinds, and more. Plus special financing available. The factory authorized clearance. Don't miss it. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
There's a lot to see at Nissan Now. Award-winning safety, reimagined design, and premium interiors. 5 exciting new models. This is Nissan Now.
Choose a $189 per month lease on the 2016 Nissan Altima or the 2016 Nissan Rogue. Get your new Nissan now. Shop your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com.
If your child ever asks, where do sandwiches come from? Tell them the truth. Look them straight in the eyes and tell them, sandwiches come from Arby's. And if they ask where the loaded Italian and its many meats come from, kindly respond, what part of Arby's didn't you understand, Giuseppe? The loaded Italian sandwich. Arby's, we have the meats.
After you're injured at work, a lot of times the insurance company will attempt to call you, take statements. Don't speak to them until you speak with an experienced workers' compensation attorney.
The insurance company will attempt to settle your case for pennies on the dollar. Before you talk to the insurance company, call us first.
Our job is to make sure you get all the money you deserve.
Call Morgan, Collins, and Yeast. 1-800-55-WILDCAT.
At Frankfort Toyota, we have new 2016 Corollas, up to $2,200 off MSRP or 0% financing available. Or new 2016 RAV4s, up to $2,200 off MSRP or take advantage of 0% financing. And we'll double your no-cost maintenance to 4 years or 50,000 miles.
Frankfort Toyota, Google rated 4.9 out of 5 stars.
Frankfort Toyota, or check us out online at frankforttoyota.com.
It's the Lazy Boy Furniture Gallery's factory authorized clearance. Get unbelievable deals on floor samples, closeouts, one-of-a-kinds, and more. Plus special financing available. The factory authorized clearance. Don't miss it. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
We are tracking a breaking news alert right now out of western Kentucky. There are reports a sheriff's deputy in Simpson County has been shot while on duty.
A Nashville TV station is reporting the shooting happened near the courthouse and the shooter has been taken into custody. There's no word on the condition of the deputy. We'll have the very latest for you on WKYT and WKYT.com.
A candidate for the Republican nomination just scored a major endorsement from his home state.
And registering to vote in Kentucky is going digital. Bill Bryant has the details in today's Bottom Line.
Good evening. With major presidential primaries coming up next week, including Republican Marco Rubio's home state of Florida and Ohio, where John Kasich is the sitting governor, Kasich has scored a major endorsement today in the Buckeye State. Ohio State football coach Urban Meyer announced his wide-open support for Kasich. A recent poll finds Meyer has the support of 85% of Ohioans. And former Ohio State coach Jim Tressel is also appearing at Kasich events. It comes as Kasich tries to keep his White House bid alive with a win in his home state next week over GOP frontrunner Donald Trump. By the way, Trump will campaign up the road in Cincinnati Sunday afternoon with an event at the Duke Energy Convention Center. Trump is going after Kasich by calling him an absentee governor. It's about to become easier to register to vote here in Kentucky. The Secretary of State will unveil information next week about online registration. Kentucky voters will also be able to make other changes, like switching their party affiliation once the system is up and running. And in the middle of talks about higher education funding, it's been revealed that a former president of Northern Kentucky's State Community College is set to start getting $348,000 in incentive pay. The Kentucky Center for Investigative Reporting dug up an arrangement to reward G. Edward Hughes for his years of service. The money is coming from a private foundation set up to promote the school. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
Well, you probably noticed that gas prices are back on the rise here in Lexington. It's reached as high as $1.99 per gallon. And AAA says you will continue to see the prices go up at the pumps. AAA says the price of gas will continue to go up in large part due to refineries shutting down to undergo maintenance and prepare for the busier summer months.
It was the lowest when we came through about 3 weeks ago in Ohio, and then highest has been right here. Sorry to tell you that.
The national gas price average is up 6 cents to $1.81 per gallon, the largest weekly increase since the beginning of the year.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Showers, thunderstorms marching across the Bluegrass State today on a day that featured southeastern Kentucky hitting the low 80s in many areas. Let's look outside. You can see what a difference we are picking up on those live sky cams. Jackson, Campton, Moorhead, dry. Now we get into Lexington, start to pick up on a little rain. Florence, rain. You want to get into the heavy rains. E-Town, Louisville, Frankfort, where a lot of this area, E-Town, you're closing in on 2 inches of rain so far on the day. And that wall of water continues to race its way toward north central Kentucky. Thunder and lightning with that little cluster of some showers and storms racing toward the Lexington Metro coming up over the next hour or so. Interesting little band of very heavy rain stretching from Maysville through parts of Harrison County, just south of Sadieville towards Stamping Ground and right on top of Frankfort and Midway. That has been putting down cats and dogs type of rain. Lexington Metro finally getting in on some heavier downpours as of now. That extends, by the way, toward the southwest, right on top of the Bluegrass Parkway, parts of Bardstown, Nelson County, E-Town, and look at the showers and thunderstorms that are ramping up. We're seeing more lightning with this band, so into the Lexington Metro in the next half hour, 45 minutes. Probably going to hear some thunder accompanying those heavier downpours. That wall of water, by the way, extends southward from Bowling Green toward Nashville, where we are getting in on heavy rains. No severe weather. You could tell your Wildcat fans that are down there and maybe freaking out because they were putting up on the jumbotrons there severe weather in the Nashville area. Not even close, unless you call heavy rain severe weather, and you do not. We've got a lot of heavy rain across parts of the deep south as well. That is racing its way quickly toward the east. The flow right on through the weekend coming off the Gulf of Mexico. So additional rounds of some showers and some thunderstorms thrown in there for good measure. Is all lost for the weekend? No, it is not. We're going to see some periods of dry weather in there, especially tomorrow afternoon, then again on Saturday, as temperatures stay well above normal, but already getting reports of better than 1 and 2 inches of rain. We could top 3 inches in some areas between now and, let's say, Monday afternoon or Monday night. Forecast into the day tomorrow, 61 toward the afternoon as skies dry up. It's a cooler brand of air, 61. We've been spoiled, haven't we? 61, we're calling it cool now. 75 degrees on Saturday, a late day shower or thunderstorm. Storms will become likely on Sunday with some locally heavy downpours that should carry us into Monday as well. One more big spike coming Tuesday into the 70s. Then by Thursday and Friday of next week, the bottom is likely to drop out. We're going to go below normal for several days.
Of course we are, right? We've been spoiled far too long.
It's been a heck of a run, though, huh?
Yeah.
We got to like this kind of stuff.
Chris, thank you.
The Cats are on a run there in Nashville, and Rob Bromley's live there for our continuing coverage of the SEC tournament. Rob?
All right, we're down here in Nashville where the Cats have been practicing. Coming up in just a moment, we'll talk with Jamal Murray, one of the really special freshmen in the country. We'll be right back to Nashville in a minute.
Tonight, what if you had a hot date? With your ex-husband?
I don't see why not. I do.
That would be an eye-opener.
Don't make a big deal about this.
She said as she applies slightly whorish lipstick.
A new mom.
This is your lipstick.
Then, straight from Hollywood, a killer new Two Broke Girls.
For a second, I thought he was the cannibal murderer. Maybe he's just opening packages.
A new Two Broke Girls right after A New Mom, CBS tonight.
If you've been denied VA benefits, visit forthepeople.com or call 1-800-MORGAN-LAW so we can help you with your appeal. Morgan & Morgan, for our veterans.
It's that time of year, our annual Bracket Buster event at Adams Buick GMC Truck in Richmond, and we're slamming the competition. Get a new GMC Sierra for just $19,995. Save $8,000. Drive a new GMC Canyon, $299 a month. Save $5,100 on a new GMC Acadia. Or save over $11,000 on a new Sierra 4x4. Plus, get the Adams Advantage, a limited lifetime powertrain warranty. Our annual Bracket Buster event is on at Adams Buick GMC Truck in Richmond, where
Sid says sell them.
Value City Furniture presents How to Buy the Perfect Mattress. First, ask yourself, are you avoiding shopping for a new mattress because you think mattress shopping is anything but a comfortable experience? Wake up and head to Value City Furniture. Our unique 3-step process makes finding the perfect Serta or Beauty Rest mattress so easy, you can almost do it in your sleep.
Oh, wow.
Perfect. And that's how to buy the perfect piece at Value City Furniture.
At Hair Win, we've been helping people for 125 years.
If you've been injured in a life-changing accident, we can help.
Contact us at helpingkentucky.com.
Hair Win. Visit helpingkentucky.com.
All right, come on, everybody, it's time to go.
Getting more for your money is simpler than you might think. When you shop at Kroger, you get low prices throughout the store, weekly specials, great value from our quality brands, digital coupons, and even fuel points to help you save at the pump. No spin, just savings.
The Buy 5, Save $5 event is on. Mix and match items like Bounty paper towels, Land O'Lakes butter, Coca-Cola, and more. Great food, low prices at Kroger.
Savor something different every day. Just ask for the $3 sub of the day at Subway restaurants. A different 6-inch sub every day for only $3. 7 days, 7 subs, $3. Subway, founded on fresh.
Hi!
You need a better car.
It's my credit.
Don't worry, because when you need to make a move, Drive Time approves.
Were you guys always this cool?
Yeah, totally.
Save yourself. Get approved at Drive Time first. Call, click, or visit.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on News Radio 630 WLAP.
Overall look at Lexington traffic flow this afternoon in real time. Of course, we have slowdowns we're dealing with on the north side on the inner and outer loops of the circle at times, approaching Meadow Lane over to Liberty. 75 looks okay on traffic flow. No wrecks in the way. We cleared one at Man-O-War and Winthrop. Drive times to Versailles, no major issues as of right now. To Nicholasville, in decent shape. And finally to Richmond across the Clays Ferry Bridge. Things are about normal. Now back to you in the studio.
Back to Nashville, everybody, where the SEC tournament is already underway and the Cats practicing here at Belmont University, the beautiful Curb Center. They will open play in the SEC tomorrow night against either Ole Miss or Alabama. John Calipari spoke here at about 4:30. We'll have a few more of his comments coming up shortly, just after 6 o'clock. But just recently, our Brian Milam had a chance to sit down with one of the really special freshmen in the country, Jamal Murray.
At first, the shots weren't falling. The offense wasn't flowing. The Cats were winning, but Jamal Murray's game hadn't become fully formed yet.
At first, just trying to figure out my position and how I was going to play with Tyler and Isaiah and the other guys on the team. So it was just kind of like a transition from point guard to shooting guard, and just figuring out adjusting and playing with different guys. So it's been a good transition, and it's benefited me.
At the urging of his coach, Murray began to pass up what John Calipari called circus shots for easier looks, and it began to pay off.
He had the one baseline flip. He could not help himself. It's like crack cocaine. I got to do this. And he flipped it under. Had no chance of making it. But he's getting better.
I didn't think they were crazy because I knew they had a good shot at going in. But I understand now, and I see winning basketball.
Now Murray is being mentioned in All-America conversations as one of the top shooters and most potent offensive weapons in the country.
Not much to say. Just go out there and shoot the ball, and let the people see what I can do, and let them enjoy it. So I just try to do whatever helps my team win, and that's helped them a lot.
He's about to play in his first SEC tournament, the jumping-off point for the postseason, and what the Wildcats hope is a run to the Final Four.
That's our goal from day one. We came together with one goal, and that's to win a championship. So everybody got the same goal, and just trying to fulfill that right now.
Kentucky's opener in the tournament is tomorrow night, Alabama or Ole Miss. Those two teams play at Bridgestone Arena tonight, and then the quarterfinal game that Kentucky plays in 7 o'clock tomorrow night, as Kentucky will take on either Alabama or Ole Miss. Cal has been using the word confidence a lot lately, and he seemed confident when he talked here today at Belmont University just before the Wildcats practice. I'll have that shortly coming up in 6. Stay with us here on WKYT.